If you're speaking to the public, then you are a public speaker. It's so important as business owners to be able to speak well, to be able to convey a message, to be able to sell your product, to be able to be clear in your communication, but yet so many people struggle with it. And let me tell you, it's actually not that easy. I mean, actually, let me take that back. Let me tell you, it's not that hard to be a good public speaker. And I have done it myself. There was a time that I wasn't a very good public speaker, and I'm still in the process of getting better at this moment. And I do get a lot of people coming to me asking me how they could become better public speakers because a lot of people want to do TED Talks, they want to do corporate events, they want to do training and all sorts of things. And I have done it myself. I've done a TED Talk myself. I have done corporate engagements, I've done private engagements, I've done all sorts of them. But it all has to start from somewhere. So the good news is I'm going to let you guys know on how to even become a public speaker and improve on it. Number one, you have to practice, and you have to practice at a small scale. You cannot expect to be standing on the big stage of TED or any other corporate events without having any sort of practice. So you need to start small as soon as possible. So what I did was I started off with doing Snapchat stories a couple of years ago. So I committed myself to doing 3 10-second videos a day, which is nothing. It's 30 seconds a day that I'm spending speaking. And to be honest with you, at the time it seemed so scary, but it was so low stake because nobody was watching my Snapchat stories, and it was 30 seconds a day, and it erases after 24 hours. So that's what I did. So for you, practice telling your stories. Do Snapchat stories, do Instagram stories, do YouTube videos, just record yourself doing videos, whatever it is. And every time you do it, look back and see where you can improve. And it's even better if you could get someone who has more experience than you to actually look at your videos to see what you're doing right, as well as what you can improve on. The second thing is to when you're doing any kind of speaking is you really want to lean in on the authenticity. You want to make sure that you are as authentic as possible. Now, what does that even mean? Right? What it means is that you're feeling all the words that you're speaking. It doesn't mean that you're being fake or you're putting on a facade or anything like that. But for some reason, when we're speaking in public, we feel like we need to be a certain way. And the reality is you don't. You don't have to be a certain way. All you can be is yourself. And I think the most beautiful speakers in the world, if you really look at them and why you appreciate them, and it's because they are authentic. You feel like you can trust them because they're human. So I would say for you is you don't even have to worry about appearing a certain way. I think if you're feeling nervous, then just like let your voice shake. If you're feeling like you need to talk a little bit faster because you're getting excited, then let that happen. You could slow down when you're trying to emphasize something. And that all comes from practice and really trusting in yourself and being authentic. And it's a hard thing to do because we feel like we need to portray some sort of image, but you don't have to because all you can be is yourself. And it actually makes the audience connect with you way better than if you're trying to show a filtered version of yourself. And the last thing is to be empathetic. It's such an important thing. It doesn't seem like a given to be a public speaker, but being empathetic towards your audience helps because the entire reason why you're speaking in public, whether if you're speaking to just one person or thousands of people, you're speaking is because you want a message that you want to share with them. And it's with the intention that it's going to help them. And empathy is what really drives connection amongst human beings. So a couple of things that you can practice when you are doing your speaking, whether if you're doing it with one person or thousands of people, is this one that I love doing. Is like, I know what you're thinking. It's such an important one because when you are spreading your message and you're sharing it, and you're especially when you're standing on a large scale, there tends to be a power dynamic. So you are the expert and you're telling giving advice and telling the audience how to do something. So that kind of puts people off a little bit sometimes, you know, because they're like, who are you to tell me what to do? And or they have all of these limiting beliefs. You might be a motivational speaker and you want to say, well, yes, you can do this. You can follow your dreams. You could do whatever. You can unlock your potential, all sorts of things. And people in the audience is thinking that, you know what, I can't do that. But, you know, of course, it's easy for you to say you're on stage or successful, you're beautiful, whatever it is that people have in their heads that they tell themselves over and over again. So it's important for you to keep in mind that what are some of the common limiting beliefs that people have and how can I address them? So if you know that one of the common limiting beliefs is like, I have no resources or I don't have enough money or I'm not educated, then you could say that. You could say, you know what? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that you're not educated. You're thinking that you need more resources. You're thinking that you need money to start your own business. But I'm here to tell you that that's not true. It's possible. It's possible that you could start this without very little resources. You can do this. Now, how much of a difference does that make versus you know, yelling down from your stage and not having any empathy at all? Because that person can actually connect with you and they feel like, and then your message is going to resonate. Because at the end of the day, the reason why you are speaking in public is because you want to change lives, you want to transform lives. At least good speakers, that's what they do. You're not there to listen to the sound of your own voice, you're there at the service of other people. So I'm just going to quickly recap the 3 things that I spoke about in terms of being improving as a public speaker. Is number 1 is you have to practice. Choose your platform: YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook stories. There's so many different free platforms that you can use to start practicing right away. You can try places like Toastmasters and all of that kind of stuff. I've only been to Toastmasters once, so I can't really talk too much upon that. But I find that the daily practice really helps. The second thing is to be authentic. Really, not even just be authentic, it's like lean into your authenticity. If you speak a certain way, just allow it to happen. You don't have to sound like anybody else. You know, there are exercises that you can do to really project your voice, especially when you're speaking in front of large crowds, which I have done. There's some exercise I've done, you know, different voice training exercise that helps you enhance your voice. Is never from a place to change your voice. And if you're feeling nervous, to just lean into it. And it makes it so exciting for people to watch. It's only when we're trying to suppress our nerves, that's when things come out weird. But if you're really nervous, just like lean into it, man. It's so fabulous to see. It's amazing to see from the audience perspective. It's like thinking about Woody Allen and the way he talks, right? He's very compelling, but he has like this nervous tick to him, which is interesting. And the last part is be empathetic, because at the end of the day, um, what you want to do is you want to help people. You want to help people change their lives. And it's not necessarily to do with anything other than that. You're from a place of service. So being empathetic towards people's situations, using terms like, I know what you're thinking, really, really helps. So hopefully that helped you guys in improving yourself as a public speaker. I really want to get consistent with my Coach's Corner. I have been all over the place in the last couple of weeks. I've been traveling, I've been doing all sorts of things, but I do want to keep a consistent time with you guys. As you can tell, I am quite tired. Tuesdays are jam-packed days for me. I recorded videos all day, and then I had my School of Life course tonight, and I've been catching up on some work as well. But I don't want to miss another day. I already missed yesterday, and I am the queen of consistency. That's what I like to call myself. And it really it kills me when I'm not consistent. So I want to be more consistent. I want to make sure that I show up at the right, not the right time, at the same time every day. So that way it's consistent for you guys as well. Anyways, I'm going to walk over to chat to see if anyone's there. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please write it in the chat. I need to walk over. Where are you, chat box?
are.
Oh,
She's
beautiful.
started.
All right. Hello, Organically Me. Hello, darling. So nice to see you, Aditoro. Thank you so much for being awake at this time and watching this in the first place. I know it's getting late. And anyway, have an amazing day, everyone. Night. I do want to keep this consistent. And, I'm a public speaker. I have been for a while. And although I don't really do that much public speaking anymore, you see, I'm sitting right here. I'm being completely authentic to myself. I'm tired. I can see myself right now. I have bags under my eyes. It's been a tiring day, but a really, really fulfilling one. So thank you so much for being here with me. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye bye.